Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hoops Hall of Fame podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about controlling your defender. How to make your defender look absolutely silly. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is Matt Lehner, your host. And the first thing about controlling your defender is you have to be in control. So sometimes good defenders are going to try to take control of you, meaning they will do one of three things. They will either back off of you excessively, forcing you to shoot the ball, and they'll do this obviously if they don't think that you're a good shooter. So there's really one solution to this, and that is to shoot the ball. And if you can't shoot the ball right now, you better spend a lot of time working on your shot to be able to knock down that shot. Now this could take a while, but if you're not a good shooter or a great shooter, it's going to be hard to become a great scorer, because shooting opens up so much in your game. You have no clue, if you're not a shooter already, on how much being a great shooter will help you become a great scorer and control your defender. So if they back off of you excessively, shoot the shot. Obviously, if you can't shoot that shot, then don't shoot it in a game, but you need to work on that aspect of your game for sure. The next way the defense will try to control you will be to do the opposite of backing off of you excessively, and that is to get right up in your grill, right up on you, crowd you, give you absolutely no space at all. Now, what you do in this situation is sometimes you can turn the corner on them, but it's kind of hard to do that. Sometimes if you're going to get by the defender, you need a little bit of space to actually get by them. So if they're crowding you, you need to jab and create space. So you need to jab right between their legs, basically step your foot right in their crotch and create some space. I guarantee you they'll move. Some defenders might try to draw a charge, but if you do it slowly enough, it's not going to be a charge and they're going to move. So you need to jab right at their midsection and create that space. You can jab at the outside foot as well on either side. Sometimes that'll create the space as well, but you need to get about a 2 foot and a half, 2 feet of space before you can actually make your move. So if they're crowding you, you need to create that space. The third way the defender will try to control you is to force you in either one direction, right or left. And what you do in this situation is you can go that way if they're forcing you, but you don't have to. What you can do is if they're forcing you to the right, meaning that their stance, the defender's right foot would be forward and their left foot would be back, forcing you to go right, if you can picture this. So what you do is you can attack the opposite way, because if you attack the opposite way, they're going to have to swing that back foot all the way around to slide to keep up with you. So that's usually what you want to do, is attack the foot that's actually forward, because then when a defender's in this position, they're very vulnerable, and obviously you have to read help defense as well and your other teammates and who else is on the court. From a pure one-on-one perspective, you want to attack the lead foot, whatever foot's forward. So if they're forcing you in one direction, generally you want to attack that lead foot. But if we're going to become a dominant offensive scoring player, we can also just play with the defender, meaning that we can jab at that front foot and see what they do. If we jab at it and they don't move, then just continue to go by them. If they back up, then we can come back and shoot the shot. And if we jab at that lead foot and they back up and then we start to come back to shoot and they start to come forward again, then we can go by them. So we're controlling their movement, making them move, which is what we're trying to do if we want to become a dominant offensive player. So again, if they're forcing you in one direction, you typically want to jab and or attack at that lead foot. But what we can do as well, if we're looking to shoot a shot in particular, is go in the direction that they're forcing us. Because what they're going to do is they're going to slide really hard to keep up with us, because that's the direction they want us to go. So obviously, as we've talked about before, when a defender's moving very fast to keep up with you, just stop on a dime and shoot that shot. So this is a good read if you're trying to get a jump shot off, especially if you're beyond the three-point line and you know you need a three for whatever reason. You can really attack hard in the direction they're forcing you and then just pull up and shoot that shot. Or step back. But again, those are the three ways that a defender is going to try to gain control of you, and you need to gain that control back. Now, what we do once we have that control, meaning that they're not backing off excessively, they're not playing us too tight. They're not forcing us in one direction because we've shown that we can hit that shot. We've driven by them, and we've gone both ways, so they know we're a complete player. They're going to stay neutral, and they're going to stay in the middle ground. They're not going to be too close. They're not going to be too far away. When the defender's in this position, we can absolutely destroy them because we've already established ourselves as a complete offensive player. So what we can do, again, is whenever you jab, whenever you make any sort of movement, you want to do the opposite of what the defender does, meaning that if we jab to the right and they move right, we attack left. If we jab left and they move to the right, we go left. If we jab at them and they don't move, we go by them. If we jab at them and they back off, we come back and shoot. If we shot fake and they jump in the air, we go by them. You always want to make the defender move and then read what they do and react accordingly. And obviously this is something that takes practice. It takes the knowledge to know, first of all, what you're doing, which now you guys have. Then it takes the practice of actually going out on the court, playing 1-on-1, 2-on-2, getting a lot of reps up and practicing these things to ingrain them into your game so that when 5-on-5 games roll around, that it's just instinctive. So you don't have to think about it, you don't have to be out on the court analyzing it, it's built into your game, and you will be able to control your defender. And as long as you're also working on your skills, working on your shooting, your ball handling, your scoring moves, you'll have all the tools you need to be a dominant offensive player and control your defender. Alright, thanks for listening to the Hoops Hall of Fame podcast. Please subscribe on YouTube to catch all my latest content coming every single day, as you've seen. So if you're interested in basketball, success, personal improvement, business, building your own personal identity, please subscribe on YouTube, as I'm dropping new videos every single day, new podcasts, new drills, and hope you guys enjoy everything that you're seeing. I'll talk to all of you again tomorrow on the Hoops Hall of Fame podcast.